character traits that will give you insane masculine energy. These tips are what will separate the men from the boys, and I'm so excited to get into this. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Rebecca P. Fox. I'm a psychotherapist, and I'm going to talk you through today how you can improve your masculinity. The truth is, both genders have levels of masculine and feminine energies within them. But in general, women do tend to have more feminine energy, which is what we call a being energy, and men tend to have a more masculine energy, which is a doing energy. For a man to have a healthy level of masculinity, it isn't what most people think and what is currently being portrayed on social media as a masculine alpha male, which is in fact a very toxic representation of masculinity. And this toxic ideology is what's causing many men to struggle with not only their mental health, but also with stepping into and developing their masculinity. There's this idea that in order for someone to be masculine, they need to appear a certain way. So having strong, imposing, broad shoulders, a deep, resonating voice, and a decent amount of facial hair. And then there's also this idea that in order to be a strong masculine male, you need to have a sufficiently full bank account, and that way you can be the ultimate provider. Now, the truth about all of that is it has nothing to do with how much masculinity you radiate as a man. The truth is, masculinity is nothing more than an energy. It is merely an elusive force that transcends all stereotypes. And these are the types that are currently being promoted as what's a desirable masculine man. Masculinity itself is a magnetic pull that draws feminine women in, and it commands the respect of other men, but not through dominance. It's through an undeniable presence that can't necessarily be seen, but it can absolutely be felt. And this masculine energy really is felt by everyone. Anyone that comes in contact with a highly masculine man, they feel that energy and they very much respect that energy. I've heard many claims now that in order for you to become an alpha male, all you need to do is implement certain steps. But I hate to break it to you. You can't create masculinity from a checklist that's been created by a narcissist. You see, external vibes, they come through inner work. So what I'm saying is, in order for you to ooze masculinity, you need to do inner work, which I know sounds crazy, right? Because then surely that puts you in your feminine energy. I'm going to explain to you these key character traits that will give you insane masculine energy. So if you're at a point where you want to radiate masculine energy wherever you go, you have to embody it through your character. So the first character trait that I want to bring to your attention is integrity. Integrity is about honoring your word. It's about being someone who stands by what they say. And this doesn't just become about how others perceive you. It also sends a strong message to yourself that you are someone who follows through no matter what. You are someone that is reliable. You are someone that has a high degree of masculinity, and you understand the importance of showing up and following through. If a date and time for a meeting's been set, someone who's high in their masculinity, they're going to make it happen. They will do their very best to accommodate and take responsibility, however, if they can't make it happen. Because sometimes things do come up, right? But when someone's in that strong masculine energy, they are able to execute it regardless of the outcome. Now, with someone who is high in their feminine energy, this is very different. You see, those who are feminine are loyal to their emotions, whereas someone who is high in their masculinity is loyal to their words. So when someone is high in feminine energy, they have no issue with cancelling dates. They will cancel dinners and promises. And this is simply because they don't feel like it. And this isn't masculine behavior. This is feminine behavior. So when you want to develop your masculine energy, it is important that you keep your word. Keep your word with others and yourself. Learn to live by your values even when others disagree. You've got to honor your commitments, even the times when it's hard. This is what will allow you to develop your masculine energy, because masculinity comes from integrity. Now, many people do believe that masculinity is something you're born with, but it doesn't quite work like that. You can only forge masculinity through struggles and hardships. And what I'm saying here is it really is time to get uncomfortable. This is going to involve you taking on challenges. It's going to involve you discovering your strengths and the gift that really is hidden within you. You see, masculinity is developed when you grow. And the truth is, no one has ever become better by having and living a very easy life. Masculine energy means being firm and steady no matter what comes your way. And in order to develop your masculinity, you've got to stop running away from discomfort and embrace it instead. What I'm about to say next won't sit right with many people, because in order for someone to have a high degree of masculine energy, it means never acting out based on your emotions. What I'm not saying here is to suppress your emotions and suppress your feelings into non-existence. I'm not saying that. It's not about becoming an emotionally numb being. It's in fact quite the opposite. What I'm saying to you is you need to acknowledge and understand your emotions. This is when you're able to give them space. When you can give them space, this is when you can act with rationale. You see, there's a big difference between taking your anger out on a punching bag instead of someone's face. And that is exactly what I'm referring to here. You see, masculine energy is calm, it's collected, and it's unshakable. Even at times when you're angry, when you have a high degree of masculinity, then you can remain strong and rational regardless of circumstances. So the way forward here isn't to suppress your feelings, but to embrace them. When you learn to feel and observe your anger and any other intense emotions without acting on them, this puts you in a very strong masculine energy, because that feminine energy is something that becomes a slave to emotions. It's something that conditions you to become reactive rather than rational. So when we talk about developing that masculine energy, it's about learning to master your emotions instead of them controlling you and putting you in that feminine place. Now, did you know that in order for you to be an alpha male, you need to have true courage? Well, let's look into that statement. I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to think about the reasons why maybe you didn't follow through and unconsciously you stayed in your feminine energy. The first thing I want you to ask yourself is, when was the last time you approached someone that you fancied? When was the last time you went up to someone that you found incredibly attractive, you started a conversation with them with the goal to exchange numbers and perhaps take out on a date? When did you last do that? And the next question is, when was the last time you asked for a raise? When was the last time that you confidently approached your boss and asked them for more money? Did you figure it out? Because the reason why you never followed through on any of these, or that you've been putting off doing them, was because you were scared. What I'm talking about here is fear. You see, fear has a paralyzing effect, and fear is what keeps you emulating feminine energy. Masculine energy is the opposite. Masculine energy is about being courageous. It's about doing what's right, no matter how afraid you are. It's all about feeling the fear, embracing what you're afraid of, and doing it with confidence. And look, it's no secret that the world can be a scary place, and doing the right thing, that isn't always easy, but that is what the masculine does. It's what a masculine man does day in and day out. They see what they need to do and they execute it with confidence. Now, one thing more important than anything else to developing your masculine energy is purpose. Purpose is so important. You see, without something to strive for, all the efforts, challenges and suffering become meaningless. And it's why men in particular give up on themselves when they're stuck in an empty job, or they face a midlife crisis once they've ticked all the boxes and they own a house, have a car, kids and a dog. For them, life becomes pointless. The masculine purpose is to serve something bigger than yourself. So instead of doing things for external validation, when you give value to others, this develops and shows your strength. This enables you to exude masculine energy and become someone who's respected and admired. You will be more fulfilled than ever before. Feeling strongly connected to your masculine energy, you will become an unstoppable force. When you want to understand life, you have to understand polarity. Everything has a polar opposite. Light, dark, good, evil, masculine, feminine. None of these is better than the other. They're simply two sides of the same coin. And when you understand and accept these opposites, you will have harmonious relationships. Those who have a high degree of feminine energy, they're free-flowing, they're emotional, they're wild, they're unpredictable. And that's why someone who's high in their feminine energy needs someone who's high in their masculine energy to provide them with a strong, confident balance. You see, masculine and feminine energies, they really do thrive when they coexist. So when you're with a man who has the power of rationale and a woman who has the gift of free-flowing emotion, you're going to find a strong partnership. Instead of fearing and trying to tame the feminine, learn to respect and embrace it. And this also goes for the masculine. The truth is, your energy introduces you before you even speak. So when you're in a room with someone who has a high degree of masculine energy, it feels different. Those who are in their feminine, they crave it. Other men, they respect it. Creating that energy means you have to embody it deeply with every part of your being. By adopting these character traits, you will get started on the path to developing your masculine energy. So, number one, I want you to keep your promises. I want you to honor your words and develop an unshakable integrity. Number two, embrace challenges and hardships because they are the things that are going to make you grow. These are the things that are going to develop your masculinity to a high level. Number three, master your emotions. Instead of becoming a slave to them, learn to master them and channel them in a way that gets results. Number four, I want you to develop true courage. Develop that courage by doing the things that you are afraid to do. Number five, create your purpose and dedicate your life to it. Number six, respect that feminine energy that you want to coexist with and you will thrive together. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you've got loads of value on it, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and if you know anyone that needs to hear this, please share.